Today we shall discuss about the prayojana, the use of it letters. Without use, prayojana abhavat varnanam itsangna na bhavati. Without the use, no word, no letter qualifies as it. So, if there is a sutra in Ashtadhyayi which defines the it for a letter, and if after defining, if it doesn't find any use, then it should not be considered as it, because every it letter should have some prayojana. Otherwise, what is the need of adding a letter to some pratyaya or adesha ragama to make it bigger unnecessarily? So these are indicators, these are markers which indicate or they hint something. So let us study what are the uses of it varnas in supratyayas. These, as we know, these are the 21 supratyayas. The red colored are the pratyayas which have it letters in them. The black ones, they don't have any it letters. How itself is, all the black colored they remain as it is during the prakriya. No letters in them undergo deletion. Let us consider supratyaya. So there I have not shown Chandrabindu over Ukara, but it assume or know that it is there. That Anunasika Swara is it. What is the sutra which tells that Ukara is in Su is it? Which sutra?
It is the Upadesho Janunasika. It's
Upadeshe Janunasika it is the sutra. By that, Ukara is it. What is the prayojana of that? And similarly, in Sup, the last pratyaya, in last pratyaya, Pakara is it by Halantyam. It is the last consonant in that Upadesha, so it is also it. So the purpose of Ukara in Su and Pakara in Sup, the last Saptami Bahuvachana, is to create the Pratyahara Sup. This is the Prayojana. So Sup represents all these 21 Pratyayas. For creation of a Pratyayara, the last letter should be an Itvarna. In a Pratyayara, the second word should be Itvarna, so that Pakara is added. There is no other use other than this. And in case of So, it is just for sake of pronunciation, for ease of pronunciation, because without, so if, for example, if the pratyaya is just s and the last it is p, then by combining these two, it is difficult to pronounce this pratyahara together. So for the ease of pronunciation, ukara is added. Again, there is no other purpose of ukara. Is these two clear? Pakara in Sup and Ukara in Su. They are for creating Pratyara Sup, and Ukara is for ease of pronunciation of the that Pratyahara Sup. Now next, out. The Takara in out. Out is to create a Pratyahara called as Sut. Sut is a Pratyahara which is used in this sutra. Sudanapum Sakasya. In this sutra, that Pratyahara has been used. Sudanapum Sakasya. If you do the Padacheda, it becomes Sut Anapum Sakasya. In this sutra, this pratyahara is used for creation of that pratyahara, and it is required, and so it is added here, out. No other prayojana of takara in out. By this sutra, Sudanapumsakasya, the sut pratyayas are called as sarvanamasthana, except for neuter gender. Anapumsakasya. Anapumsakasya means which is not napumsaka. That is pullinga and strilinga. Sut pratyayas for the masculine and feminine words, they get the sangna sarvanamasthana. This is anurutti from previous sutra 1142 and this is 1143. She sarvanamasthana sut anapumsakasya. For creation of this pratyara sut, takara is added here. This is about takaraya sit in out. Then jas and shas. Before that, if you want, I can explain these two sutras. She sarvanamasthana. It means before that, what is she? There is one sutra. Jas shas. Jas shaso. Shihi. In case of napumsakalinga words, always, no exception, always jas and shas, they get replaced by an adesha called she. During the prakriya, jas and shas, both jas and shas, they get the adesha she. So that jas and shas, they remain as it is for masculine and feminine words only. In case of neuter gender words, in case of napumsakalinga words, jas and shas, for them, they get replaced by she during the prakriya. This she is considered here. She sarvanamasthana. It means jas and shas pratyayas for napumsakalinga words are called as sarvanamasthana. Sudanapumsakasya is the next sutra. It means sut anapumsakasya. For other than neuter gender words, sut pratyaya are called as sarvanamasthana. It is not sarvanama, it is sarvanamasthana. It is totally different from the word sarvanama. Sarvanamasthana. For masculine and feminine, these five, these are called as sarvanamasthana. And for neuter gender words, jas and shas, these two are called as sarvanamasthana. Okay, that's about takara in out. Next, jas and shas. In jas and shas, jakara and shakara haritva. So after deletion, the drushya rupa is has. In both the cases, drushya rupa is same. So sometimes we need to address only the first one. Sometimes we need to address the second one only. At that time, if there is no hit letters, it is difficult to address specifically, because if you just say us, how can it represent the pratama bahuvachana only or dvitiya bahuvachana only? So distinguish or differentiate the two from each other. Jakara and shakara are added. So just means it is pratama bahuvachana, shas means it is dvitiya bahuvachana. That is the purpose. Otherwise, because of jakara and because of shakara, no other prakriya is mandated. Jakara and shakara are for the sake of differentiation from each other. For example, some sutra tells just about shas, some tells about shas. For example, there is a sutra called as Jasicha. You don't need to understand all this, just I am giving some exposure. Jasicha, it is 73109. This sutra tells that Rukaranta words undergo Gunadesha in presence of Jas. For example, Matru plus Jas. By this sutra, Jasicha, it undergoes Gunadesha. Gunadesha means Rukara gets replaced by Akara. That Akara always comes with Refa, as we discussed. So it becomes Ar, Mathar, plus here Drushya Rupa is As. And so it is Mataras, and Sakara at the end finally becomes Visarga. Mataraha. This is the Pratama Bahuvachana of Matru. Pratipadikam Matru. If we take Shas Pratyaya, then this Gunadesha will not happen. Matru. Actually, it is not possible to type here. There will be Dirga Rukara here. Dirga Rukara, not Rasva Rukara. And there will be final Visarga. Matruhu. This is the Dvitiya Bahuvachana. Here, Rukara should be Dirga. That Dirga will be mandated by some other rule. We don't need to bother about that. The form is Matruhu. Because in this condition, where here from Matru to Mataraha, this happens only in case of Jas, not in case of Shas. So then in the sutra, it should be specifically mentioned as Jassa Pratama Bahuvachana only. For that, we need to differentiate Jas from, the Assa Pratama Bahuvachana from Assa Dvitiya Bahuvachana. So that Jakara is added, so that it can be easily specified in a sutra. That is the purpose of Jakara and Shakara in these two, Jas and Shas. Is this clear? Is this clear? The explanation for Jakara and Shakara. Okay. Shubha Bhagini, is this clear?
Mohoday, I am just following. I will understand later after repeating hearing.
Okay. In this class, we are explaining why that it letters are added in Supratyayas. I was explaining about Jas and Shas. Bhagini, see here. In Jas, it is Jakara Hit, and in Shas, it is Shakara Hit. Jakara by Chutu and Shakara by Lashakvatadite. If there is no Hit letter, suppose I don't add Hit letters in the first place, then the Pratyaya will be like As in both cases. So, if I want to specify the Pratama Bahuvachana Pratyaya As in a sutra, then I will represent As in that sutra. But that As can also mean Dvitiya Bahuvachana Pratyaya, because both look same, no? So we need to specifically address the Pratama Bahuvachana only. For that, to differentiate, to make it different from Pratama Dvitiya Bahuvachana, Jakara is added, and to differentiate it from the Pratama, Shakara is added in Dvitiya Bahuvachana. Okay. Okay, next, Ta. Takara in Ta Pratyaya. Tritiya Ekavachana. Ta is mentioned in one of the sutra. Tag nasig nasam inatsyaha. This is one sutra where the occurrence of ta is there. Ta, nasi, nasam. This is Shashti Bahuvachana. Am is there. Ramanam, like that. There are here three entities are there. So it is Bahuvachana. Ta, Nasi, Nas, three are there. For these, Inatsyaha, in, At, Atsyaha. Inatsyaha. Actually, it is again Bahuvachana, Pratama Bahuvachana. In is one entity, At is second entity, and Syaha is the third entity. It is the Pratama Bahuvachana of the word Sya. Sya is the entity. For that, Pratama Bahuvachana Pratyaya just is added, so it is Syaha. So the final, the Pratipadika root word basically was Sya. By this sutra, for Akaranta words, those words which end with Akaranta words, ta gets converted to ina, sorry, it is ina. Nasi get replaced by at, and nas get replaced by sya. For example, Rama and ta, tritiya ekavachana. It is Rama plus ina. Here a plus e gunadesha, gunasandhi. It is Rame, Ramena, and there will be Natva. We shall discuss about Natva later. Nakara gets converted to Nakara when followed by Ra or Sha or Rukara. Ra, Refa or Shakara or Rukara. So Na gets converted to Na. This is how the Tritiya Ekavachana of Rama is Ramena. This sutra, Tang Nasig Nasam Inatsyaha 7.1.12 gives the Adesha of Ina to Ta. Similarly, Rama plus Nasi, Panchami Ekavachana. Rama, Nasi get replaced by At. It becomes Savarna Dirga, A plus A, Ramat. Then Rama and Nas. Nas replaced by, what is the Adesha of Nas?
Sya.
Sya. And so for final form is Ramasya. The single sutra gives Adesha for three pratyayas. Inatsyaha. So in this sutra, ta is mentioned, but the prayojana of takara is not this one. Just I mentioned where it is mentioned in a sutra, ta pratyaya. Previously, before Panini Maharshi, that Tritiya Ekavachana Pratyaya was being designated as or named as Ang. There was Nakara it in that instead of Takara. But Panini Maharshi has changed the it letter Takara instead of Nakara because there are some words also. There is a word called Ang with Nakara as it. So So it may be confusing for us if we use the same ang, because that hang is also addressed, or it is also used in some sutras. So we should not, if we can replace that nakara with some other with letters, it would be it would not be cause confusion. Otherwise, this ang and that hang, in a sutra we can't differentiate. So to differentiate that hang word from tritiya ekavachana pratyaya, instead of nakara, he has added takara in the beginning, and it becomes ta. Then the question is, what if there is no it letter at all? What is the need of this takara? Because no prakriya is mandated just because of this teeth, um, because of this teeth being takara being it. So just by saying again it will be confusing which we are just talking about in a sutra. Just it is a random akara, the letter akara, or tritiya ekavachana So to avoid confusion, he has added that takara here. That's it. And in some sutra, Pani Maharshi uses that ang also for in case of tritiya ekavachana. This is the one sutra where he uses ango nastriyam. Here ang means tritiya ekavachana only. But here it is not confusing because it is said in the context of supratyas only. So he has used ang also and ta also in the sutras. Otherwise, there are no other uses of the takara. Then in all these four pratyayas, nakara is there. Nakara. The prayojana of nakara is found in these two sutras, Niti Rasvascha and Nirniti. Niti Rasvascha, this sutra tells, in presence of Nit Pratyayas, Rasva, the words which end with Rasva, they undergo Gunadesha. For example, Guru plus Ne is equal to Guru. Here it is a Nit Pratyaya. So that Ukara at the end of Guru undergoes Gunadesha and it becomes Guru. And after deletion of the letters, it is A, because if we delete Nakara, it becomes A. And here it is Guru plus A. There is scope for Ayadi Sandhi, Echo Yavayavaha. O will get replaced by How. It becomes Gurau plus A. Whenever there is Vokara, which is followed by an H letter, any vowel, then Vokara gets replaced by Au. So it becomes Gurau, and the final form is Gurave. Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaturthi Ekavachana. Similarly, Guru plus Nasi. Here again Gunadesha, Guru, and As. It becomes Guroho. Like this, in presence of Nit Pratyayas, all these four Pratyayas, there will be Gunadesha of the Raswanta words. If a word ends with Raswa letter, then there will be Gunadesha. U becomes O, E becomes A. Muni becomes Munaye. Muni becomes Muno, Munehe, Arehe, Girehe, like that. And the second use of nakara is nitirasvascha. Oh, I am sorry. The sutra which tells gunadesha is nirniti. Sorry. This sutra mandates gunadesha of this ukara and ikara ending words. But this nitirasvascha gives dhi sangnaka for rasvanta words. This sutra gives if a word ends with e or u, if a word ends with e or rasva u, it is called as ghi. Ghi is a sangna given to those words. It is called as ghi. It is a vyakarana vishishta sangna. In language, it is not found. It is not. It doesn't find any meaning. In Paninian grammar, there is a sangna. It is a sangna. Ghi. What is ghi? Ghi is the name given to all those words which end with rasva ikara or rasva ukara in presence of nit pratyaya. Ne, nasi, nas, ni. All these four pratyaya. For example, guru. Oh, I am sorry. Actually, they are all gi in presence of all pratyaya. I'm sorry, I confused you. They are called as nadi. Nadi is another sangna. Nadi. They are, for example, guru, rasva ikaranta, rasva ukaranta. These words, for example, muni, pati, guru, all these rasva ikaranta, rasva ukaranta words are called as gi in presence of all pratyayas, whether it is su, haujas, sam, aushas, in presence, in front of all 21 pratyayas, 21 supratyayas, they are called as ghi. But only in presence of these four, neg, nasig, nas, and gni, nit pratyayas, they will get one more sangna called as nadi. They are called as nadi. It is different from the normal word nadi in the language, nadi, which means river. It is not that nadi. It is some grammar specific sangna given to rasva ikaranta and rasva ukaranta words when they are followed by ne, nasi, nas, ni. For example, guru. And I forgot to tell, they should be strilinga words. These rasva ikaranta and rasva ukaranta, if they are strilinga words, then they get this nadi sangnaka. So guru is not nadi sangnaka in presence of any of these. For example, if we take sati, or sati is a rasva ikaranta strilinga words, so it is called as gi in presence of all supratyayas, and it is optionally called as nadi in front of ne, nasi, nas, and gni, these four pratyayas. So this is the prayojana of nakara as it in supratyayas, to optionally mandate or optionally name them as nadi in presence of these four pratyayas, and to mandate gunadesha in presence of these four pratyayas. So we shall study that gunadesha and the prakriya, all things later. Just I am introducing the concepts. It is not I am teaching everything about the prakriya here. That's it. And there is ikara here, which is again it. The prayojana of that ikara is to distinguish nasi from nas, because both these panchami ekavachana and shashti ekavachana, the drushya rupa is us. So if I want to address only the first one or the second one, then I need to differentiate from the other. So that ikara is added in one and ikara is not added in other, so that it can be they can be addressed individually, separately. Okay, this is about the prayojana of it letters in supratyayas in short. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Sorry, I confused you with respect to Nadi and G. Finally, I will tell all Rasvaikar, all Strilinga Rasvaikara, Rasva Ukaranta words are called as Gi in presence of all 21. In presence of Nit, Pratyas, Meg, Nasik, Nas, and Gni, these four Pratyas, they are optionally called as Nadi. They are also called as Gi in presence of those four Pratyas. Both Sangna, Nadi and Gi is applicable for these four Pratyas.